You're thinking of moving to Austin. Well, in today's video, we're actually going to be talking about property taxes and a recent bill that is going to affect homeowners across the state of Texas. Let's go. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Dominique, I'm a local realtor here in Austin, and today we're gonna be talking about property taxes, which I know might not sound that exciting, but it affects so many Texans, so many homeowners in the state of Texas, and there's new news surrounding property taxes, so I thought it would be a good topic to get into. But before we do that, I just wanted to say hi, hey, I hope y'all are doing awesome. Happy October, I'm so excited. Fall is my favorite season of the year. I love Halloween, I love fall, I love the cooler weather. And if you haven't heard, if you've been keeping an eye on Texas, we have had a drop in the temperatures. I actually wore a sweater this weekend, who am I? Right now it's 80 outside, which is so nice. This morning I think it was like 60 when we got up. I sent my son with a little sweater. This is time of the year where we have a big shift in temperatures. So yeah, I don't know, I'm really loving it. We actually went to Fredericksburg this past weekend, which if you don't know, it is Texas wine country. It's a super cute town, about an hour and a half from Austin, and it's grown so much over the last 10 years. There's so many cool stores, restaurants, of course wineries, a ton of wineries. We have been so many times over the years, and I mean, I still haven't gone to all of them. There's so many. But yeah, we stayed in a little cute cottage at this ranch. There were longhorns outside of it. It was really beautiful, and we had a great time. And I don't know if you can hear a little noise below me, but we have, oh, there she goes. We have a new member of our family. Her name is Dottie. Let me go get her. Here she is. This is Dottie. Our Chihuahuas passed away, or our last baby passed away last year. She was 15, so my husband and my son have been wanting a puppy for a while, and I finally gave in. So this is her. She's Dottie. She is a Chihuahua mix. We don't know what she's mixed with, but she is a handful. I'm trying to train her. I've never had a puppy. We've always, you know, adopted dogs when they were already out of the puppy stage. So we're learning potty training, sleeping through the night, you know, trying to teach her not to bite me, which is not working out great. Anyway, that's Dottie. She came to Fredericksburg. It was her first trip, and she had a great time. As she was scared of the longhorns, it was really cute. Okay, guys, I got off on a tangent, but let's get into property taxes. So Texas has no state property tax. We don't have a state property tax, just like we don't have a state income tax. So the taxes are up to the local taxing authorities, and they use that income in order to provide services, you know, area services in each county for public schools, for roads, etc. So, you know, that's something that's different from other states. So property taxes have definitely increased a lot over the last several years, especially when we had huge spikes in home prices from 30 to 40%. You know, I've talked about this in past videos. Offering way over asking, homes were going into multiple offers. Things have definitely cooled down in our market now, you know, but the prices definitely went up. Now, this year, we're seeing that prices have gone down about 14 to 17%, depending on where you are in the metro area. But you know, prices are still very high, and they've just grown so much because of the growth that Austin has seen, and because of our labor market, and just so many things that are drawing in newcomers to the Austin area, and have been for the past 20 plus years. So legislation recently passed that would help to provide relief for homeowners across the state of Texas. Although it's not official yet, it does have to be passed by voters in a constitutional amendment, and so that vote will be happening at the beginning of November. So we will see what happens. Most likely it will pass. I mean, most taxpayers across the state of Texas are gonna wanna see that relief, because we've seen our prices go up so much. Now, one thing to keep in mind, there is a cap each year. There's a 10% cap each year that our property taxes can go up. But I mean, even though there's a cap, you have to think about new home buyers coming into the market, and how, you know, all of this is affecting the market. Many homeowners might not make a move because they don't want to kind of reset and have a newer, higher property tax based on the new home price, right? So if they purchase their house you know, 10 years ago and they paid $400,000 and they're wanting to move up or, you know, even downsize. With the higher prices, they're going into a home at not only a higher price, so maybe it's a $600,000 home, but so not only are they paying more for that house, they have a higher interest rate, and then their tax rate is going to be based on that higher amount. So this is going to help provide relief and hopefully also encourage those that maybe have been waiting to move to go ahead and make a move. So let's go over a few of the things that they have proposed and hopefully will pass. So the first thing that they are looking at is an increase in the homestead exemption. Now, the homestead exemption is an exemption that all homeowners get across the state of Texas. Once you purchase a home, you can immediately apply for that homestead exemption. And it used to be $25,000. It increased a couple of years ago to $40,000, and now they are proposing that it will be increased to $100,000. So that would be amazing. I mean, I think that it should still be more just because the prices have gone up so much. There's so much demand for housing. People debate whether there is enough housing in Austin, and you know, some people have said they overbuilt and just things like that. But I think with the growth that we're looking at over the next, you know, 50, 100 years, we need more housing. You know, we just do. So I am excited for any higher exemption that's coming, but I think that we're gonna need more because we're gonna see continued growth, you know, in the area, and that's what is projected. So 100,000 homestead exemption is one of the big things that they're looking at. So what's exciting about that is if it does pass, then it'll actually be for tax bills for 2023 that are due in January. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope that we do see some relief there. In July, lawmakers passed 3 bills to spend $13.3 billion of a historic state surplus. So because of a historic increase in prices, we had a surplus of taxes. So what was going on with the Texas legislature is they were trying to determine where those monies were going to go, you know, what was going to be allocated to school districts and how it was going to go back to taxpayers. So there are 5 parts to the tax cut package. The first being one of them being the homestead exemption increase to $100,000. Another is going to be school tax compression. About $7.1 billion would be sent to Texas school districts so they can lower the taxes that they levy on property owners. So a part of our property taxes, a huge portion of that goes to funding public schools. So they're looking at, you know, kind of providing relief there because of the surplus that they have received. And what they're saying is that it would reduce school districts' maintenance and operations tax rate by 10.7 cents per 100 of a property's valuation. So that's another thing that they're going to be looking at. The other item on the list is a temporary 20% appraisal cap that would establish a limit on commercial, mineral, and residential properties that do not have a homestead exemption, and they have to be valued under $5 million. So the county appraisal districts wouldn't be allowed to increase the taxable value of any of those properties by more than 20% each year. So that would be really good, you know, obviously for anyone in the commercial sector or anyone that has a residential property that they rent out, that they lease out, whether it be long-term lease, mid-term leases, or short-term leases. Another item on the list is the franchise tax exemption. So it's not a property tax cut, but it was included in the package. And what it would do is it would double the amount of money a business can make before it's required to pay the state's franchise tax. So the limit's going from 1.24 million to 2.47 million. In addition to that, the businesses that don't meet a threshold for having to pay the franchise tax would no longer be required to file forms to report those taxes. So that's another item on the docket. And then the last item is elected appraisal officials. So county appraisal districts are currently appointed positions, and they can vary in size, you know, depending on the county. But what they're going to be doing under this new legislation is each appraisal district's board of directors will now include 3 positions that will be elected by a majority. And what lawmakers are hoping will happen with this change is that it will hold the people who oversee appraisals more accountable. They'll just be more accountable to the property owners in their various counties. Okay, so what does this actually mean for you? So Obviously, if you don't live here yet, then one of the things that we look at when you're searching for a house is, of course, property taxes, and those vary across the different suburbs of Austin. So, you know, that's information that I can give you if we're ever working together and I'm helping you in your search. If you are already a Texan, if you're already a property owner, then you don't have to do anything once these pass. It seems like everything will just kind of go into effect automatically. Now, if you never applied for your homestead exemption, then that's something you definitely want to do. And I think in most cases, it can be retroactive for up to 2 years. So definitely look into it, make sure that you have applied for your homestead exemption. And then if voters pass this legislation, then we will be able to see those benefits in January come time to pay those property taxes. So very exciting. Definitely hope that these things pass in a few weeks. One good question I've seen is, how might this affect renters? So if you're a renter in this market, you haven't yet bought a home, will this affect you at all? Most likely it wouldn't affect you. There's nothing in the legislation that requires a landlord to provide you with any relief if they see a decrease, you know, in their property taxes. So generally what landlords do in the state of Texas, there is no cap on how much a landlord can increase the rent each year. It just is based on what the market will bear. So we did see a decrease in rents for leases across the metro area as well, just like sales, just like home sales were affected. Leases have been affected as well. So, you know, depending on what the rents are in your particular area of the city, you know, you may see a decrease, but it won't be because of these taxes. It'll just be because of market fluctuations. So that about sums up the changes to the property taxes that we're looking at for the state of Texas. I hope this is helpful and interesting to you. I think it's interesting because it's obviously going to affect our bank account if these policies are voted in November. So let me know if you have any questions. As always, you can leave a comment below, or I have my email in the description. If you have questions about how this might affect you, or just general questions about moving to the Austin area, I would love to help you. I'm always here to be a resource for y'all, so don't hesitate to reach out. Okay guys, thank you so much again for watching. Thank you for your support for my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay connected with me. And I will see y'all very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.